Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Yo, what's going on, everybody? I'm just checking the settings really quick just to make sure that we are actually live. Okay, it looks like we're golden. So, I am Alex Wilder. This is Wild with Wilder. I hope everybody's having a great day. What I thought would be pretty fun, since it's 8 a.m. my time, so that means it's 2 hours until we have the drop. I got my coffee right here. Let's go and do a little bit of a market watch, because there's some really interesting things happening in the market that I can't believe. I'm finding fascinating. But before we jump right into that, make sure you guys are liking and following the channel. That's the only way that I'll grow. And the more that I get into this and the more that I research, the more I'm realizing that connection just with you guys is really the way to go. Making sure that I'm reaching out to y'all, asking you, hey, is this what you want to see? Do you want to see some type of different content? Do you want more Veve content? Do you want more anime content? Or maybe some other third alternative that I'm not even thinking of. But all that said, I want you all to know that I'm having a lot of fun, meeting a lot of new people, and I really appreciate all the commentary, all the likes, all of the thumbs ups. Everybody who liked any of the videos on Twitter. Couldn't do this without you guys, definitely. So let's kind of jump right into it, because I'm very excited for the next trajectory. Currently, everything on Veve is in the middle of a gym squeeze, and the markets are seeing some weird downturns, some interesting upturns. And so I thought we'd go over to Omi Wiki here, and we can just take a glance at the Veve secondary market floor prices. Now on Omi Wiki, this is one of the options where you can see breakdowns of all of the different collectibles or comic books. And when you're looking at the breakdowns, it'll show you the price, it'll show you the initial drop price, what the issue number is, because they're talking about what they're listing here is the floor price, and when it was listed. So I think that means if I refresh up here at the top, that the numbers may or may not change, or the collectibles may or may not change. Yeah, I guess this is it has a certain refresh time. Excuse me. Okay, so let's look through some of these. All you have to do to get these charts, by the way, is you just have to create an account. Mine is here. I have manually added my collectibles and my comics so I can get my valuation. My iPhone is too old to get the actual vault, Veve vault on my iPhone. So when I get my new phone, I will. But for now, I'm utilizing this. On top of that, if you really want to look at the charts, you have to pay their subscription, which is £10 a month. So what's the USD equivalent? Like 11, maybe $12, something like that. Now, that's kind of up to you guys. I haven't subscribed to the website yet, but the way things are going, it might be worth the investment just to get that nice snapshot bird's eye view, because just even utilizing this really pulls me in and kind of like shows me what's going on. So let's look through some of these things. So okay, just to give you guys a glance at what we're looking at. There it is. Let's make sure the headers are on screen. So we have the price of what it's listed as right here. For Batman number 71, listed price. There's the initial drop price, so $60, and right now it's $240. This is edition number 2775, or I guess issue number, in Batman black and white. It also lets you know if it was an FA or an FE. This one is just a regular Batman. It's a rare, So that's why it's still in the 240, but it's not FA or FE. So it's not quite, doesn't quite have the gravitas as the first type of things. Now, one of the things that I found myself doing when I'm scrolling through is I'm looking for things that I think are undervalued. Of course, this is not financial advice. This is just kind of my way of thinking and my way of doing it. But there's going to be things in here that make me kind of raise an eyebrow as to why is that so inexpensive or why is that so expensive? You know what's funny? I've never really looked into these guys. That whole collection was just kind of there when I hopped on the app. I don't know anything about it. It's kind of why I don't talk about it that much. I do know about Adventure Time. So I think that the Adventure Time stuff would be a really good set to have. Rumor is their license is with Cartoon Network was one-time thing. So there may not ever be any more Cartoon Network NFTs on the Veve app. Ice King is the rare. It's an FA 184. So if the drop price right here is $14.99 and he's listed now $184.99, that percentage shows you the amount of increase. So 1,134.09% increase for the Ice King, which is really, 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 really cool. Now this is the floor price, and that's the rare. I know that the secret rares are up there, but so that feels normal to me based on what the market is and what the market's doing. So I'm going to kind of keep scrolling. Ultraman rare sitting at 1.7. Ghostbusters logo. Finn first edition. I get so curious about the Adventure Time figures and the figurines because first off, it's Adventure Time. It's FAs for all of the main characters, all the characters that you like. Plus, when I come down here to Marceline, the ultra rare, she's a fan favorite. She's standing under a G. They feel low to me, but I'm not really sure how low. I'm not sure to what degree. But Finn is sitting at 122. Drop price of 12, 839% increase. And this listing was from 2 hours ago. Now, I always, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about interoperability. I'm thinking about the actual gamification, Veveverse, that type of stuff. And I wonder when kids are able to utilize the actual NFTs and they use them in their space, who are they going to want to play as? And the ones that happen to be fans of Adventure Time, the ones that happen to be fans of Cartoon Network and of Adventure Time, they're all going to want to be Finn. They're all going to want to be Jake the dog. And they're all going to want to be Marceline and then Princess Bubble. Like, I'm thinking about what's actually going to be appealing. And I think about that too when I'm evaluating some of the other sets. I'll get into that in a second. So let's look at Robin, because he's a little bit of a tender spot for me because he's my first black and white, an FA, Robin, Damien, and the son of Talia al Ghul, grandson of Ra's al Ghul. I was watching Injustice the other night. Which I should talk about, by the way, one day. So he's sitting at 205 right now. So only a 300% increase. And I say only, but he's an uncommon. Uncommons don't tend to jump crazy unless it's like Spider-Man. The list price was only $49.99, so that's not that bad so far. Batman Black and White series. Now I got mine during during the pump, not realizing that a pump was going on. And what I learned is that you have to know that a pump is happening so that you're in sell mode. And then when things start to turn into a gym squeeze, then you can be in buy mode. I could have got this guy for under two, probably. I think I saw it listed once or twice at 189, 199, and there weren't a lot of eyes on it, so I definitely could have snagged that, and I paid 270 for it. So now I do think it's going to get above 270. I just think that was because that wasn't even the high during the actual pump. That was, I'm like, all right, 270, and then it shot up. So I think there's room to grow, but I'm definitely going to flip different. It may be one of those ones where the next time it shoots up, I sell it. Then when it drops down, I buy back into it at the all-time low, and it's like having the collectible plus some free gems. So that might be a way to mitigate that particular collectible. So just something I'm thinking about. Ultraman common. That might be a good buy. I don't really know. Ultraman, yeah, we say he's like DC, but Shonen Jump is like Marvel. Something. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. So let's talk a little bit about these Myrmicornos, because I'm very interested and curious about these Myrmicornos. So my niece is 7, and last year we were just over there one Sunday, and she was showing me her what's the My Little Pony television show, and she was breaking them down. Let me tell you about every single pony, their names, their personality traits, kind of like what they do, that type of thing. So I was just checking, making sure. I didn't know. I haven't done any lives before. But anyway, I look at Myrmicornos, and I know they're not My Little Pony. But I also remember when I was in first grade and we had a assignment to do in class, and the teacher made us pick a colored crayon, and one kid picked green out of the whole pile because he was like, green is the same color as the Ninja Turtles, and I love the Ninja Turtles just because of the color. So I'm imagining what happens when you have a bunch of kids and they're inside the Disney Veve verse, and there's this whole unicorn land that they can trounce in, and they have to go and get one of these unicorns. Well, they're going to get these, and they're going to get the ones that look cool. So I'm doing like a little bit of an aesthetic play on the Myrmicornos, and I'm focusing on the ones that I think are going to be attractive to players. The ones that, from my perspective, I think that my niece would like, maybe like other girls her age or boys her age. So that's what I keep thinking about with those. And the fact that they're sitting above the listing price. So this one, they're all listed at $14.99. Except for the ultra rare Ritmo, who's listed at $22.99. But at the same time, they're not that much more. The uncommons and the commons do sit around about that 150% to 175% increase. So the ones that I think are aesthetically appealing are the ones I'm doing, like pink. Not the ones that are only interesting to adult. Anyways, these Ultraman posters are pretty cool. So one of the things too, when I'm doing this, is I'm looking for stuff that I think has potential growth. Stuff that is easy to buy into. Because right now I'm in buy mode. In buy mode, I'm looking for discounts. I'm looking to see what's there. I'm looking to see, is this something that I have to get right now? Because I think this might be the last super, super big downtrend on this item. Or is it one that I can wait for the next wave? I'm thinking about all of that. I'm also looking to see where no one is paying attention. So, okay, here's a good one. Ecto 1 static. It only has had a 50% increase, which, you know, in this market, a small increase on like that on a rare is very interesting. There's only 6,6666 of these and exist. And less than an hour ago, 120 floor. Now, let me tell you why this is interesting to me. It's interesting for a lot of reasons. The first is that it's a rare. So with MCP points, with a rare, I think you get one or two full points, depending on how for every individual rare, unique rare that you have. So that big jump from uncommon, where it's like 0.5 and then to a rare to 2 whole points, I'll have to check the numbers on that. I don't remember exactly, but that is big deal. 2, it's only had a 50% increase, so the floor is under $150. And being around that $100 range for a car is interesting to me too. 3, the interoperability and the interactivity of cars that they said in the 2 AMAs ago is they basically said that this is coming. This is going to happen. You're going to have the ability to drive the DeLorean through the Veveverse. Now, they said DeLorean. I think that basically means cars. We only have so many vehicles. We have the Ecto 1. We have the DeLorean. We even have some that fly. We have the glider. I'm looking at all of these. Those are, in my opinion, long-term interactivity Veveverse plays. Anything that's transportation-wise. Because if it does have, people have to rent yours, they're gonna want to drive the cool cars. They're gonna want to be able to fly. Does that mean the hoverboards are gonna be something people can rent too? I haven't looked at those yet, but the transportation play is probably going to be something I'm going to be looking at seriously after the current play that I have is done. So let's kind of keep going. Haven't really looked at the Cthulhu, Necronomicon, any of those things, but they are really interesting. So that Spider-Man uncommon is only 680, guys. I saw it get up close to 8 or 9 during the pump. I mean, obviously, the Spider-Man Secret Rare Ultimate Animated, that's a grail. That's one of the grails. I think it's like number 3 on the list that people keep passing around. But like Google stock and all its subsidiaries, they all rise together. So people who can't get that ultimate, they're going to go down a tier. Let me get the ultra rare. Let me get the rare. Let me get the uncommon. Now, the uncommon is less than the common. So getting a FA Spider-Man uncommon hanging upside down for 680 might be a good play during the squeeze. I don't have that liquidity, but that's one of the things I'm looking at, but I don't think that that's the way I'm going to go for one of my next ladder steps. Mr. Fantastic, he went way back down. So he's at 215.38% growth. But I've seen him close to like 80, 90 during the last pump. I was pretty lucky. I grabbed my Mr. Fantastic at like 25, 27 before it blew up, before it doubled. Wish I had got a lot more because that would have been a nice little get. But you know, hindsight, 2020, all that stuff. Um, so that's one that I highlighted too. Franken Fat, uncommon, only has had a 20% increase as far as the floor goes right now. 20%. So you're basically getting him at drop price. And if you think there's any long-term benefit, now is the time to get that one. I don't have any of those figures or any of that set, but that really, really makes things interesting, in my opinion. Whoops. Too fast. The glider. That might be the way to go. I mean, I'm curious too about the drivability. Does that mean that all of the vehicles were interactive, or only the ones that are already animated? Should we get the commons, or should we get only the ultra rares and only the secret rares versions of those, anything animated? Like, that wasn't really made clear. They may not even know, but that's part of the riskier aspect of the transportation play, which I'm keeping my ear kind of to the ground to see if anybody ever mentions that or thinks to talk about that. So I'm going to have to pause, calm. My computer battery is getting a little bit low with my setup, my current setup. I don't have a way to stream and charge at the same time. I know, stupid, I know. But I think that this is really, really helpful. So one of the things I want to let you guys know is I'm looking for right here where you have the percentage, I'm looking for a red one. Yeah, low percentage ones are good. Like I just got a Kingo because he is only 100% from the drop price of $13. But if there's any in the red, I'm really paying attention to it seriously. The reason is how I got my first little bit start in Veve, my first returns, is I bought stuff that had fell below the list price. Like I had a couple of holiday Groots that were well below the list price. I was able to take those because, I mean, they're going to go back up past the list price once any pump happens. And that's just like guaranteed money. And they may not fall that low again. So wherever people aren't looking, there's opportunity. And I would love to be able to capitalize on all of that. So to sign off, I want to wish everybody good luck on today's drop. I want you guys to think calmly, be prepared, go do whatever it is that you do. And, you know, whatever happens, happens. Go for the drop. Go for the drop because why not? Like, there's only upside. And especially if you just are in a quick market and you just need that little bit extra and you don't care about long term and you happen to get one, sell it right away for at least 20-25%. And you just earn a few extra gems. Or maybe you just get in on something, wait for the market to hit, and all of a sudden, a month later, boom, you have a grail and you didn't even know it. There's a million fun things and great ways that you can kind of play this situation. So make sure you're staying active, make sure you're staying focused. I love reading through all this stuff because I feel like it really makes me more connected and I have more perspective. Remember, information is speed. The more you know, the less you hesitate, the easier it is for you to make decisions on anything that might pop up, because sometimes you don't have time. Sometimes something may be listed, like they may list the uncommon Spider-Man at $525 and you don't know if this is a good deal or not because you haven't checked any of the information. You don't know if this is a good play or not because you don't have the information. So you have to go, you have to stop, you have to look it up. But if you know, you can act. Information is speed. And if you have speed, you can gain quickly and you can attain that influence, and that's power. So, you know, knowledge is power type thing. All right, I'm gonna cut it right there. Thanks so much for tuning in to another fun, peaceful market watch, just the way that I like. If these are fun, maybe we'll do another one pre-drop in the future. So I'm getting the high sign from my laptop. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Alex Wilder. It's Wobble Wilder. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. That really, really helps. Or if you want to support the channel, check out the link to my new Etsy store. We have new designs rotating in. I worked with some great artists. I did some of the design work myself. Use the code name Wilder, WILDER, to get 10% off of anything that you order today. So, you guys